Sir, which one, sir?
Welcome to A-Levels Computer Science, and we are on our chapter number 10, paper number 2 of Computer Science AS Levels 961822. Chapter is data type, and in the last lesson, we have discussed about the records. So records means that we are going to form a data which is depending on the other data. So that type of a data is called composite, right?
Yes.
So in a composite data type, we have discussed the type. So when we are going to maintain a composite data type, we have to use a type, T-Y-P-E, type, and then we are going to display our data in this form. So we need to write T, then we are going to apply the book and its record. So in a book, we have a title page. So we need to declare a variable title, declare author, declare publisher, declare number of pages, declare fiction, along with their data type. This type of a data is considered as composite, which comprises on several related items.
Okay.
Next topic is arrays. Arrays is a data structure containing several elements for the same data type.
Okay.
Data structure means a table. So usually we are going to organize a table, and in a table, we are going to settle up the columns and the rows. So basically, a table is a perfect display of arrangement or organization of data. So array is the same thing. Array is a data structure which contains several elements. So in a table, whatever you're going to enter, like serial number, name, and class. So these all fields are going to represent our data in a structured way.
Okay.
And every row have a data. That data is called elements. So we have two type of data structure. The one I have drawn is a 2D array. And the other one is a 1D array. In 1D array, you have a single column like this. So in a single array, we are also going to organize our data. So the position of each element in an array is identified using the array's index. Yes, like I'm writing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This numbering, which shows a sequence, is called index. You can see in 1D array, I'm going to about 1D array first. You see the numbering. This number is called index. The index of the first element in an array is the lower bound, and the index of the last element is called the upper bound. So we first value, that is 0, that is known as the lower bound, and the last value, which is 8, that is called upper bound. So array is going to be identified with the sequence of numbers that is called index. And the index is represented by the lower bound, which is the first value, and the upper bound, which is the last value. Getting it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the lower bound of an array is usually set as 0 or 1. So you can see the index is 0. So it depends upon the student or the programmer that he's going to start from the 1. Right? So you are not bound to
Yes.
If you're making an array with a index number 1, you are okay.
Yes.
Okay for you. So some programming languages can automatically set the lower bound of an array. So arrays can be one-dimensional or multi-dimensional. So I told you about the array. The 2D array is a multi-dimensional, and 1D array is only having a one column. So a 1D array can be referred as a list, right?
Okay.
One can be referred as a list.
List.
So here is an example of a list with a 9 elements. So if you count the number from 0 till 8,
Hmm.
how many values are there?
9.
9, right. So the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on are 9, right? And the values are starting from 0 till 8.
Yes.
And on every index we have, what is that thing called? These are called
Okay. Elements.
elements. Elements. And this is the thing called name of an array. So the name of an array is called identifier. The name of an array is called
Identify.
identifier. Please do not write anything.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're writing, it's waste of my time. Okay. So we are discussing about a data structure. The topic is arrays. An array means to store the data in a structured way. So we have two types of array. A 1D array is a list and 2D array is a table.
Okay.
Now, the question is, sir, when we are dealing with the topic of array in the exams or the question, so how do we declare the array? So array can be declared in this way. You can see you have to write a declare.
Hmm.
You have to write the identifier. What is identifier?
Say the name of the array.
Oh, okay. Then you need to declare the range array. LB ratio UB. LB means lower bound. So the LB value is
So
0
0 to 8.
to 8. And of course, the data type. Remember one thing, in array, all the elements have the same data type. Do you notice this thing?
Yes.
All the elements in an array have a
Same data.
same data type. So in this way, you're going to write declare my list array 0 till 8 of data type integer. And if I'm going to ask you that the position, which element lies on the position number 7, my list 7. So you can tell me that the 16 lies here. Getting it?
Yes.
Now, copy down first arrays definition, and you need to draw the 2D table as well. Then let me know. I will move the next part of the paper, okay? Next part of the sheet.
Okay. Then we already do 2D array.
So you can see the 2D array is a well-organized form, and you can say it is a proper table. It is a proper table because in a 1D array, there are only a list. But here you can see that we have a proper format of a table. So a 2D array consists of multiple rows and multiple columns. A 2D array can be referred as a table with the rows and column. Here is an example with the 9 rows and 3 columns.
3 column.
So how many total elements are there?
27.
27 elements. So you see, this is a column 1, column 2, and column 3. So I start with the column 0, like you can say it as 0, 1, and 2. And the rows are there. You can see the first row, you can see the second row, but we start from the 0. So index is 0. So it means we have 9 elements. So the first element according to our row is 27, 31, and 17. This is called the lower bound, as I have taught you.
Okay, sir.
And the last one is called the upper bound. And in the column, you can see this first column is a lower bound. And in the column, you can see the last one is the upper bound.
Upper bound.
So this is how the table is going to be.
Sir, एक second देंगे मैं एक second आऊँ.
Okay. So we have 3 columns and 9 rows. 9 into 3 becomes 27. So when a 2D array is declared in pseudocode, the lower bound for the rows called LBR and the upper bound for the rows for the UBR are going to be declared like this. So first you need to write declare. Then you need to write the name of an array itself. This one is for the rows. And this one is for the, yes.
Sir, I'm thinking, sir. 1 second.
You're thinking sleeping. This one is for the rows.
How?
It's for the columns, right? And
Yes.
right. So I don't think so it's a part of the thing. So how do we actually write it?
No, sir. I was just like looking what's happening. That's why.
Declare the name of an array. That's my array. Array. So 0 till 8 are the rows and 0 till 2 are the columns of the data type integer. So take out the notebook, write it down. I'm waiting. For the arrays, and I told you that arrays can be write down in a way of index, right?
Yes.
So the thing is, we have done with the topic arrays. Now the question is how to write an algorithm. So we have an example here. I'm talking about the 1D array here. You see, there are some data items. 27, 19, 36, 42, isn't it? Now,
Yes.
what I wanted to write an algorithm of that topic, right? Of that particular topic. How do I do this? So I'm showing you the snippet. Okay. So you see here, this is for 2D. I want 1D. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you see, this is a snippet. The first is the output. Output, this is a message, which is showing on the screen. Output is 10 values in order, 27, 19, 36, 42, right? So you can see 27, 19, 36, 42, and so on, right? These are the values.
Yes.
Now, you see every value comes after one another. What is that thing called? One after another. Look, after 0, we have 1. After 1, we have 2. After 2, we have 3. What is this thing called? This thing called
Order.
iteration. This thing called?
Sorry?
Iteration. So the iteration means the number keep moving one after another. You can also call it as loop. Do you remember the topic loop?
Yes.
Loops, right? So we have a loop. So first, you need to use for. And I told you always remember that you need to use a counter in order to store the values. So I use for counter 0 to 9. So it is not 0 to 9, it should be 0 to 8 because we have the element 0 to 8. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. And I print a message again. Output, enter the next value. So first I need to input the first value, that is 27. And then the computer said, output the next value. Then I need to input array name, my list. Counter. What is the meaning of counter? You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So with every value, the counter is going to count the number of items. So on 0, I have entered 27. On 1, I have entered 19. Next counter means the iteration will move on one after another like this. This is just an snippet. What I want from you, you need to use a declare variable declare the variables,
Okay.
print the things. It is just a snippet. I want a proper algorithm. So you have to write it down in your own wording, okay? By using your own technique. So you can take
Okay.
help from here. You need to declare the things, input the things, print the thing. Output means. So there's no output in the program. You need to output the things as well.
Okay.
Let's start your work now. Now we have a 2D array.
Yes.
In 2D array, we have rows and columns. In this array, we have only a single list, a single array
Yes.
list, right? And in that list, you have only one column, right? You
Yes.
have to iterate it only one time. But if you
Okay.
have multiple columns, then what we have to do?
Then you will declare with the row and the upper bound and lower bound of the row and the upper bound and lower bound of the column.
So it means how many times we need to use the output and how many times we need to use iteration or loop. Definitely
Two times.
2 times, one for the raw and one for the
One for the column.
very good answer. So amazing. So let me write down the algorithm snippet and you need to complete it by your own. Is that okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
So I'm ready.
Sorry?
I'm ready.
Then let's go for it. Let's start your work now. What is for column counter 0 to 2? What is the meaning of that thing?
That's for the column. So that's upper bound and lower bound of the column.
Okay.
Sir, can you just go up 1 second?
Sorry?
Can you just scroll up 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Here?
Yes, sir. I just want to like see the declaration, like the format.
Okay, you need to see the format. That's it. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Sir, 1 second. Quickly write it. Okay, sir. Done.
Okay.
Can you go back to the question?